shelter or at your place of employment. If you selected one of these categories when registering, FEMA will automatically call you beginning today and direct you to a website with information on available hotels and how to arrange a room. So make sure that your contact information with FEMA is up to date. Again, when you register, you will have to have indicated you are living in a car, a hotel, a shelter, or at your place of employment. If you've been displaced but are staying with friends or family, you are not eligible for TSA. This is to ensure that the limited rooms are available to those who need them most. The second type of housing assistance is to find rental property by visiting www.lahousingsearch.org. That's www.lahousingsearch.org. This website collects all types of rental property available right now in your area. We also want to encourage property owners to list your property and be willing to rent short term. There are people who desperately need access to your housing units, and I'm asking you to cooperate with us and make your rental units available. And I know that these individuals will be grateful as well for you working with them to meet their needs during this very difficult time. We understand that you want to know about longer-term housing options as well. And we are in the process and working diligently and around the clock to assess those options, and we will have a plan that we can present to you by the middle of next week. We are working as quickly as possible to get the plan right so that we don't have to backtrack and so that the assistance we offer will be meaningful and the most appropriate for each category of individuals who've been affected. We are also planning starting tomorrow to consolidate shelters here in East Baton Rouge Parish. Tomorrow, the individuals who are currently sheltered at F.G. Clark will begin to move. In fact, the move will be complete tomorrow to the River Center. So those sheltering at F.G. Clark tomorrow will move to the River Center. And on Monday, we will relocate from Celtic to the River Center those individuals who are being sheltered there. So that at the end of the day, Monday, the one shelter in operation will be at the River Center downtown. I also want to discuss with you DSNAP benefits. We will be opening 10 sites in the following 8 parishes beginning on Monday: East Feliciana, Iberia, Livingston, Point Capee, St. Helena, St. Landry, Tangipahoa, and Vermilion. Again, 10 sites in those 8 parishes will be open on Monday for DSNAP. DSNAP will open in East Baton Rouge Parish on the 29th of August. This is what you need to know about accessing DSNAP benefits. The only people who need to sign up for DSNAP are those who are signing up for the very first time. We are urging you to pre-register at www.dcfs.la.gov. Again, that's www.dcfs.la.gov/pre-register, or you can call 1-888-LA-HELP-YOU. 1-888-LA-HELP-YOU, and that's the same as 888-524-3578. To apply, you will have to go in person to one of the DSNAP sites in the parish where you live. There is a designated schedule for you to determine when you should go to apply. And we're going to use the first letter of your last name, and we're going to proceed alphabetically. So on Monday, August the 22nd, don't go to your DSNAP location unless your last name starts with the letters A through D. So Monday is A through D. Tuesday, August the 23rd, your last name should start with E through K. Wednesday, August the 24th, your last name should start with L through R. And on Thursday, August the 25th, your name should start with S through Z. If you show up on a day that doesn't correspond to the first letter of your last name, you are not going to be seen. So please be patient. This is the only way that we can get through all of the individuals who will be applying for DSNAP. On Friday, March the 25th, all of the A through K applicants who were unable to make their prior scheduled day will be seen. So if your last name starts with a letter between A and K and you weren't able to make it on Monday, August the 23rd or Tuesday, August the 23rd, Monday, August 22nd or Tuesday, August the 23rd, your makeup day will be on Friday, August the 25th. Sorry about that. On Saturday, August the 26th, we will see the L through Z applicants who were unable to make their scheduled days, which were Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Those applying for DSNAP must go to a specified DSNAP site for the parish where they resided during the disaster to receive benefits if they are eligible. If you are currently receiving SNAP benefits and live in a flood-impacted area, benefits will be automatically added to your EBT card. You do not need and should not go to the DSNAP location in that instance. If you registered in a previous disaster, you are already in the system. You do not need to register again, but you do need to go to the site on your appointed day, and when you do, your information will be updated. In the coming days, you will also see an awful lot of FEMA activity going on in your communities and in your parishes. Disaster assistance teams are on the ground and will be in your neighborhoods to help you register and access FEMA services. These disaster assistants will be wearing FEMA badges, and it is important to remember that FEMA never charges for any of their services. So no legitimate FEMA worker is ever going to ask you to pull out your wallet, pull out your checkbook, give them a credit card. That will not happen. You will also be seeing disaster recovery centers opening where FEMA representatives will be able to address your specific needs case by case. These will be one-stop shop centers. We'll also have the Red Cross at these disaster recovery centers, the Small Business Administration, and other agencies in order to make sure that you receive the assistance to which you're entitled and which you need. Also, the Louisiana Economic Development will be opening more business recovery centers so that small business owners can get the help they need to get back on their feet. In addition, with respect to the Small Business Administration, in Livingston Parish, a business recovery center was actually opened in Walker on yesterday. On Monday, August the 22nd, the Small Business Administration will open a recovery center in Ascension Parish, as well as in East Baton Rouge Parish, at two locations. And let me back up. In Ascension Parish, it will be at Bank Corp South Bank at 13423 Highway 73 in Prairieville. It will open at 9 o'clock on Monday, August the 22nd. The hours are from 9 to 4:30. In East Baton Rouge, the Small Business Administration will open a recovery center at the Louisiana State Archives, which is at the corner of I-12 and Essen Lane, 3851 Essen Lane, and that will be open at 8 a.m. on Monday, August the 22nd, and will stay open till 4. Also in East Baton Rouge Parish, the Baker Workforce Development Center will be used as a recovery center. The address is 3262 Baker Boulevard. It will open at 8 a.m. on Monday and will stay open until 4:30. In Lafayette Parish, a business recovery center will open at the Louisiana Immersive Technologies Enterprise, which is called LIGHT, in their executive conference room, and that's located at 537 Cajun Dome Boulevard. It will open at 9 a.m. Monday and will remain open until 6 p.m. And in Tanchville Parish, the Recovery Center will open at the Amite Chamber of Commerce at 101 Southeast Central Avenue. It will open at 9 a.m. on Saturday, August the 20th. Again, that's going to be 9 a.m. Saturday, August the 20th. As you can see, this is a lot of information, but we're working around the clock to get assistance to displaced Louisianans and to those who've been affected by this storm as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible, and as meaningfully as possible. So with that, we will open it up for questions, and as you can see, I have individuals behind me who work in all of the areas where we're going to be offering assistance, so that should your question require it, we have the experts on site to answer them.
I have a DSNAP question, Governor. You indicated that East Baton Rouge DSNAP offices of registration will open on the 29th. That's a week later than some of the other parishes. Is there a reason why it's going to take an additional week to get EBR underway?
There is a reason, and of course, there are 20 parishes. We're going to offer DSNAP benefits in all 20. We're unable to do them all simultaneously, so we have a schedule where over a 3-week period they will all be taken care of. In Baton Rouge, we will start a week later on, as you just mentioned, and we're going to do that because the individuals who are running the shelters are also tasked with administering the DSNAP program. And we are consolidating shelters as quickly as we can, turning over as much of the shelter operation as possible to the Red Cross to free up the workers at the Department of Children and Family Services so that they can administer the DSNAP program. But it's going to take us that additional week to have the numbers necessary for Baton Rouge, because it is the most populous parish that we are going to administer the program in. Did I get that right?
You got it.
Thank you.
Governor.
Yes.
I have to ask you, Donald Trump was here today. Do you want to talk about his visit and whether you think that was a good thing for getting national media attention?
He didn't go to a DSNAP center, did he?
He did not.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
I actually have one that might be appropriate for FEMA. We've had some viewers asking about, as they start to rebuild, there's the requirements that if your house was in a floodplain and more than 40% was damaged, when you rebuild, you're going to have to elevate. That's going to impact a lot of people who are probably not aware. Can you explain that for us?
Yes, and we're very much aware of that. We've had this issue before in Louisiana, and my recommendation would be for those survivors, once they get that determination, is that they go to one of our disaster recovery centers when they open, to sit down with a subject matter expert to begin the process of working through that. But I want to emphasize that that determination of substantial damage, it's not made by FEMA. That'll be made by the local jurisdiction. We will provide technical assistance in that process.
Can you go through the definition of what constitutes substantial damage?
Substantial damage is when the property is at 50% or more damaged, as determined by a trained observer for that process. Okay.
Yes, sir.
One more, Governor. You issued a plea for private property owners to open up their residences for rent. How many people, is there an estimate of how many people need a place to stay, and how many rental units are available in our area?
Yeah, and the plea was directed to private property owners whose property is typically in the commercial rental business. I'm not looking for individuals to put a bedroom for rent sign in front of their house. And in terms of the rest of the question that you asked, I'm not sure if there's anybody here who yet knows exactly how many people that would apply to. But we are contacting the individuals who have registered, the individuals who are in shelters, to get as much information as quickly as we can about the population, so that we can marry them up with these resources as quickly as possible. And it's not just the individuals who need the rental. We need individuals, as you just mentioned, who own rental units to register with us too, so that we can actually marry individuals up. Yes, sir.
Final question for me. Is there an estimate of how many families need a place to stay?
I don't know that we have an estimate on that.
And I think this is why the step the governor has taken today is so important. By turning on this TSA program, I think we're going to begin to get an idea of exactly begin to get the true scale and scope of this problem. So I think over the next couple of days, as we see the results from this call out, we're going to get a better feel for what the long-term housing need is going to be, and just how big it will be.
And of course, we have some sense of the scale because we know more than 40,000 homes were damaged to some degree. More than 30,000 people had to be rescued from their homes, and we know how many people have been sheltered over the last several days. So we're talking about an awful lot of people, which is why we're trying to turn on the assistance as soon as possible. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an update on how many people are still in shelters, official shelters?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right at 4,000 is what we expect to shelter overnight tonight.
Do you have any sense yet of the economic damage scope? I know I've seen some figures put out by BRAC, but have y'all gotten to the point of being able to quantify how bad this is?
In terms of the economy, with respect to the individual businesses, or is the
Just
fiscal
kind of-
impact to the state?
I don't mean the fiscal impact to the state, I mean kind of broadly the economic impact on the areas that have been hit. Is there any way to quantify what?
No, but we know that in several areas, but especially in Livingston Parish, there is a huge percentage of businesses that remain closed. Obviously, that is not good either for the businesses or the communities that they serve. And that's one of the reasons why we put the Business Recovery Center in Livingston Parish first, to try to direct resources there where they seem to be most in need. We need those businesses to stand back up so that the communities can resume normal activities and operations, and those homeowners can get back in there and have the support that they need. And of course, that's going to be important in all of the areas, but it's most acute right now in Livingston Parish. And we haven't been able to gather all of the data that we would need to give you a more precise answer. We just know that it's very serious and the impact is adverse, and we're going to do everything we can to rectify that as soon as we can.
What do you think about the potential for FEMA trailers making a comeback?
Well, we're going to have a complete plan that we will announce on Wednesday of next week. They are under consideration, except that if we pull the trigger on that, it won't be the FEMA trailers that you're accustomed to. FEMA doesn't do that anymore. These are manufactured housing units that look more like a mobile home. But I do not misconstrue anything that I'm saying today. The decision has not been made to go in that direction. But it's certainly on the table for consideration, and we will let people know more on Wednesday.
Last question.
I'm just curious with the TSA, or sorry, not TSA, but the temporary housing rental properties, and is this something that's been used in a different disaster, and kind of give us an idea of the success in other areas?
Well, first of all, it was used here in March. We have experience here in Louisiana just this past March in marrying up individuals whose home were damaged in the flood with available rental units, and so we've done this recently. We have a good idea how it works. It's something we can pull the trigger on and be effective very, very quickly, which is why we're doing it now. Thank y'all very much.
Governor of Louisiana there wrapping up a press conference where we learned a lot of new details on exactly what will happen with the DSNAP program. A lot of the folks here in East Baton Rouge Parish probably not wanting to hear that they're going to have to wait at least almost, a little bit more than a week until September 29th until the benefits will start rolling here. We'll have August 29th, I'm sorry, I keep making that mistake. August 29th, which is still a little bit more than a week away, is when the benefits will start rolling here in East Baton Rouge Parish. We'll have all of this wrapped up together and put on our website, WAFB.com, and our Facebook pages, and we'll have a full report coming up in just an hour. We now now send you back to regular programming here on WAFB.